Hello everyone, welcome to week 3 versus Anaxiomancer. So he's going to start off with a lead of Hippopotas that is setting up sand for him and his team. That rock slide is going to flinch my Pineco, which I do not know why. This has to be the theme for my Pineco lately, just getting flinched on round 1. So I'm going to go ahead and also set up some rocks, and he's going to respond in kind, but I also have spikes that I really want to go ahead and get set up because the chip damage is really going to become incredibly handy in the future. Spoilers. So I get 2 layers of spikes and some rocks off. He does his final rock slide, take Pineco out, so Pineco did his job pretty decently here, except for the flinch. I have my Porygon out here to get the download to boost my special attack. Earthquake's going to do a decent amount of damage, but I have Ice Beam as I take a huge chunk out of the Hippopotas. Thankfully, my Porygon, being the goat that he is, has Recover, and he also has Thunderbolt for some great coverage against the team. This Ferroseed is going to take some damage. I went ahead and used Tri-Attack because I wasn't sure if he was going to swap, which he did end up doing. The Leech Seed is nothing I want anything to do with. So I send in Darumaka. I'm unfortunately going to take a quarter of my health due to fire types being weak to rock. That knockoff does a ton of damage. He sends the Hippopotas back in, who's going to take a lot of damage. Almost, if I had one more layer of its spikes, it would have just went down immediately. I used Superpower because I wasn't sure if he was going to swap in Ponyta against me to Flash Fire absorb the fire moves that I have on my Darumaka. I use a U-turn because I do not want to be fighting Mr. Hulk Chicken. Chinchou will resist that Brave Bird being an electric type. He's probably going to switch here because my Berry Juice is going to make procced and I have a super effective moves against it. So he swaps in the Ferroseed, and he had a feeling that was going to happen, so I Volt Switch, which is fine. It means I can get out of there pretty easily. My Darumaka takes a ton of damage. Half of itself has been taken via this nonsense of a, whatchamacallit, rocks. I Superpower again because, thankfully, if I had picked the fire move, then the Ponyta would have absorbed it. We're both taking damage from this, but he does have Morning Sun. I didn't actually think I was going to be faster. That matchup later is going to be incredibly important. So I made a big mistake here. Unfortunately, I forgot that the Ponyta doesn't have Wild Charge, which is the whole reason why my Chinchou here has Volt Absorb as opposed to its normal Water Absorb in this case, because there wasn't going to be very many moves otherwise. So here comes Sneaky Snake, the Duskull, one of the most annoying mons I had to go against in this entire series. So this Duskull has a set of 4 different moves, and they're very annoying to deal with if you don't have some super effective moves to really counter it. So Duskull is very tanky, and in this case, it has Pain Split to heal itself off my healthy members, Substitute to get behind the Pain Split to not take direct damage. It has Will-O-Wisp to burn any physical attackers, which I do have. The ones that can handle this Pokemon are physical, and then Shadow Sneak in order to get some damage off. So you have to try to play around which turns he has for each move, and that's essentially why I even have my Porygon out, because I'm not as familiar with this set. So I'm trying to see and feel out what order of moves I need to make sure that Substitute gets knocked down, and that his health is under 25%. Because if a Pokemon tries to use Substitute when it's under 25% health, it will fail because it requires 25% of health. So my Archon right here is, but the Substitute needs to be down while it is under in order for that to work. So unfortunately, he gets the Pain Split off on here. Chinchou, he uses Shadow Sneak. I'm very worried that my Chinchou is about to go down. I Heal Bell so that it renews the burn on my Pokemon. Volt Switch out does take down the Substitute, which is very beneficial for me in this setup. He unfortunately does get the Will-O-Wisp off, but that also means he does not have a shield. The knockoff brings him below 20% health. He is not able to use a Substitute, so now he's stuck to try to fight me. He sends in Shelter, which I really do not want my Archon to go against. I knock off the move because he had swapped it in, so of course my move goes first. I'm going to U-turn. I know I'm faster before the Shell Smash. Send in Porygon because Porygon can tank like a son of a gun. My special attack is boosted thanks to the download again. That Icicle Spear does a decent amount of damage. I'm able to recover it off, but he does get the Shell Smash down, which I really do not want. Thankfully, my recover because it gives me back a whole bunch of health. This Rock Blast quite nearly destroys me. Brings me down really low, but I have Thunderbolt to go ahead and make sure that this sweeper is no longer an issue. The Hulk Chicken is going to take a good chunk of change from the currently still active rocks. Chincho comes in. I am faster, so I do get that Ice Beam off, and it's not able to use a move to remove those hazards. I am now able to do a bit of a mini sweep here. He sends in the Duskull. It takes a decent amount of damage. It will not take any damage from the spikes because of Levitate. It does have Shadow Sneak, which greatly hurts. And now the Shadow Sneak almost takes my Archon off, which was clutch. And here's where something absolutely crazy happens. We have both sides have two very weak Pokemon that are going to die immediately on switch in. But the reason that I win this match is because it is based on speed. The Pokemon that's faster will take the damage first, which means my Darumaka lives to see another day and wins me the match because it's slow. All right, now round 2. He starts with Hulk Chicken, which is definitely not a good thing for me. I am trying to set up something sneaky, so I set up Reflect in order to go and block a lot of the physical moves. So he uses Knockoff. It does take a lot of damage. I get a Stealth Rock off, but this Hulk Chicken, this Volibee, has Defog, which removes my removes everything, Reflect and the rocks. I do get 1 level of spikes down, and that is actually going to make a decent chunk into them for the rest of the match. Head Smash into the Hippopotas because he had swapped off the Hulk Chicken. I U-turn because I do not want to deal with that. Send in my Porygon. My Porygon is just a nice check all for most teams. He gets a Stealth Rock, which I really, really, really do not want. He sends in the Shelter, which he made a grave error here. He must have forgotten about the fact that my Porygon has Thunderbolt. So he Shell Smashes in front of my Porygon and takes that hit, sending his sweeper out. Crazy. He sends in the Ponyta. I don't really like the matchup with the Ponyta, so I send in Chincho. Again, really hoping he's going to use an Electric move. Militwisp misses, because again, my Chincho has Volt Absorb, but I'm not able to take advantage of it. He sends in Ferroseed. I definitely don't want that, hoping for a burn, because he's going to have some grass moves to heal. Send in my Tentacle. My Tentacle, fun fact, has Liquid Ooze, meaning that if he tries to use healing from taking health from my Pokemon, from my Tentacle, it's actually going to hurt him. So he's going to set up this Leech Seed. He's going to take my health, but it hurts him. And he cannot use the Giga Drain that I know he has, because it'll do even more damage to him, so he has to use a least effective Flash Cannon. My Tentacle is getting a crazy amount of utility here. I'm able to Rapid Spin on turn 1 to get rid of those rocks, and I'm in a much better position. Superpower, again, because I don't want to use my Fire move in case he switches into the Ponyta, but then it goes down. And here we go again. I should have just left Darumaka in order to take the Will-O-Wisp, which I will learn from my mistake a little later. So now we're in this same position of having to try to figure out which order of moves I'm going to need in order to get this substitute down, and his health also just under 25. In this case, it is perfectly here. He Pain Splits, but he does heal off, that Pain Split being super annoying, and now I am burned with no more juice to heal. Chincho I'm going to bring in. He's going to substitute, bring him 29%. I am going to use Heal Bell so that Archon can be healed of the burn. Pain Split is going to heal him back up. This annoying, annoying little ghost. So the Volt Switch does take down the substitute. I put in the Darumaka knowing he's in a Will-O-Wisp, thinking that I was going to swap in my Archon. It is immune. I use U-turn, and because I use U-turn, he expected the Archon would come in, so then he uses Substitute to get a back. Unfortunately for him, he's now under 25%. He uses Will-O-Wisp instead of Pain Split, which actually that wouldn't have done anything, and now he's in a much worse position here. I used knockoff to get rid of, because I expected him to actually keep in the Duskull, but he did not. I used my powerful acrobatics, regardless of me being burned, and with defeatist, it still takes down the Hippopotas. But this burn is really starting to take a dent. Head Smash almost takes out the Hulk Chicken, and with the recoil damage, Archin is out. Defog, since Defog did not have a target, it does not remove the spikes on their side. U-turn, he doesn't want to deal with that, which I'm very surprised he's going to go ahead and do. I'm not sure what he wants that Hulk Chicken to do. Thunderbolt onto my little Ponyta. Excuse me. Well, his team is still taking the chip damage. He's going to use Morning Sun. He doesn't really have any other answers to the rest of my team. Overheat almost hurts, almost takes it out. And this is where I knew I won. I forgot that I had my berry juice still. So now my Chincho is essentially free to sweep the rest of his team here. Having the coverage with Ice Beam, Volt Switch is not even needed, and then Scald to take down the stupid Sneaky Snake. And that is a 2-0 victory for me. Hey guys, Zeus here. Thanks again for watching. I'll be posting these matches with commentary over the next few weeks, so feel free to comment below with any suggestions, and as always, please like and subscribe. It means more than you realize and is much appreciated. Till next time, okay, thanks. Bye-bye.